So this is for anybody who has been suffering from stress, and a symptom of that stress is allergies. Allergies or food sensitivities, irritation. This is something that I experienced for years, very early on. I started sneezing and feeling very irritable, couldn't eat anything actually. At one point my diet was so clean, it was ridiculous. I didn't eat sugar, caffeine, alcohol, dairy. It was a very challenging diet to follow because I was trying to understand why I was so reactive. And of course, stress is about being very reactive at the level of the nervous system. And I tried everything. And it took me years to work out what was really going on, the origin of stress. And this is something that I talk about in the 6-week daily connection, which, by the way, went live today, this morning, for those of you who are interested, shown an interest. And there's some free audios if you're interested as well to check those out. It's the origin of stress. And rationally we think, well, it must be something I'm eating, must be something I'm doing. And actually what I found was that as I understood my own patterns and the link between the emotions that we hold in and don't express, that get stored up in the body. What I was experiencing as irritation in the symptoms, the sneezing, the itchiness, the irritation in the throat and the chest, and often in the skin as well, was actually unexpressed anger, frustration, irritation. And that irritation, without any healthy outlet, without any healthy expression, was causing an irritation at the cellular level or the nervous system in my body, in the physical. That was the way the body was communicating this irritation. Another aspect of sensitivity is if you are somebody who is sensitive, hypersensitive, then that often translates into a sensitivity at the level of the nervous system. I had both. So I had a lot of unexpressed emotion, particularly frustration, irritation, anger. Even more interesting in terms of expressing that anger and that frustration, the irritation that built up so much from a very young age, and then started to manifest or express in the level of the physical as allergies and sensitivities. Below that anger and irritation was pain. And what I've understood, that a lot of the anger that we feel, whether we express it or not, perhaps that reactivity, that angry reaction, irritation, is often because there's a deeper pain that hasn't been expressed, an emotional hurt, that we're carrying hurt, and that builds up into perhaps resentment or anger of not being considered or of having boundaries that aren't respected in some way. And of course, all of this happens at a very early age when we don't have the awareness or ability sometimes to speak up in a powerful way. So it's really interesting. The dots that I joined, and again, if this resonates, is that the allergies that we can be experiencing, the irritation, the sensitivity, which the body is communicating as the emotion that hasn't been expressed or has been built up and stored away, packed away for a very long time, until there's no other outlet than for the body to express it in a symptom. So there we have the origin of stress, and it's not always what we think it is. It's not always rational. And we each have our own unique experience in life and what we've experienced as stress, much of it at an early age. And again, it's these patterns that build up. And then at a certain point, the body starts to express these because the emotional energy or the emotional density that the body is holding onto at the cellular memory starts to cause an imbalance, the level of the nervous system, different systems of the body, and then we experience that as an illness or a symptom. So I thought I'd share that with you to demonstrate the link between what symptoms and imbalances in our health and our discomfort we're experiencing physically and mentally and emotionally, and how they're connected to that origin of stress, which is often a very personal experience. And this is really helpful because once we understand that the irritation that the body is showing can be related to an irritation that we feel and haven't expressed, we can work with the body. And there's a process where we're connecting, that all-important connection, and we're acknowledging what we feel and what we haven't expressed, and where we're holding that in the body. But I wanted to, help you understand what I call the origin of stress. The more I work with these underlying patterns and the emotional pain and the anger, everything came back into balance naturally. So I didn't have to take any medication. I didn't have to really change my diet. In fact, now I can eat everything pretty much. So it's about creating those inner conditions so that the body can come back into balance naturally. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know if that resonates, if you've been struggling with allergies and any other symptoms. We can look at the link between what it is you're experiencing and what I call the origin of stress. Okay. So thanks as always for your comments. And again, do check out The Alchemy of Stress. The link's in the description box and in the comment section below. And there are some free audios that you can check out if you want to look at the foundational practice and how you can develop your own practice. Thank you for being here and look forward to seeing you in the next post.